We are here talking to Mr. Matt Fraction. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Hello.
So Matt, obviously your big thing right now is Fear itself.
Yes, Fear itself. There we go.
So
there's a preview of it here in like a book, I guess. They're giving out like a 6-page preview of it. So like it's starting to get out in the world, which I'm very excited about because the same 6 people have been telling Stuart Immonen that he's a genius doing the work of his incredibly storied and incredibly rich career.
Right.
But like now other people are going to start telling it. I'm very excited that people get to see just how astonishingly great Stuart is because I think it looks so good. It's so terrific. I can't wait for it to get out in the world and stop living in my head for a little bit.
How'd the story come about?
It was Tom Brevoort and all of his magnificent Brevoortian wisdom reaching out to me and Ed a little more than a year ago and saying that, we have a Thor movie in May and a Cap movie in July. Maybe there's a Cap Thor story you guys would want to work together on.
Right.
And so Ed and I were just sketching around for like little mini-series ideas. We're like a 4 or 5 issue mini. It'll be fun. We'll get to work together again and that kind of stuff. And it sort of very quickly snowballed once we started to talk about it. And Ed kind of faded out, and we were kind of pitching it in the room, and it was Joe Quesada who thought, like, wait, this sounds like an event, and then it sort of bloated and became this sort of this mass epic that it is.
So as you said, people are just now starting to get a little taste of this.
Yeah.
But how far along in this series are you?
I've wrapped 4 and I'm on 5 now, so we're plugging along. Stuart is on 3, and we're booking.
Oh, wow.
So no diva-like trickle of work from us. No, we are working men, brave and strong.
Is it something that's
And
coming
women.
easily?
Laura, in fairness, Laura Martin is a woman.
Thank you for finally admitting that.
And so gifted. Oh my God. I can't wait.
Tell us about the story. Tell us what's going on.
Sure. I did this. I got to say this at at Emerald City to a guy who asked the question. He was like, it was a panel, and they kind of had the attitude that like, this is going to be a panel with a lot of red meat, so why are we wasting our time with it? Like, so what's it about? What happens? Folded his arms, kind of like. I was like, all right, well, the Red Skull discovers Odin isn't the Allfather, and 250 people went. At once. It was the greatest reaction ever. So, the Red Skull discovers that Odin may or may not actually be the Allfather and frees the true Allfather from his prison where he has been kept since time. Get his face.
Wow.
Please
Yeah.
get his face.
Yeah.
That is best. You have the face. And he transforms the Red Skull into a god for her troubles. And they set about waging a war of fear and terror on Earth. They want nothing more than to make us afraid, because the more afraid we are, the more horror we feel, the more terror we feel, the worse we are to each other and to ourselves, the stronger they become, rather than sort of deities that feed on awe or worship or whatever.
Right.
They're very Old Testament. They want you to rend your babies in twain and sacrifice your firstborn, and they're sending plagues and all kinds of stuff. So you've got Captain America's worst nightmare, which is a Red Skull more powerful than even the original Red Skull ever imagined, while Cap is on desk duty. And you've got Thor's worst nightmare, which is everything he knows probably isn't true, and what isn't Odin hiding? And I've been hinting in the Thor book, like Odin's been saying things that don't play right with people. Like, well, I thought it was this, and I thought it was that. Right. So I've been sort of hinting for a year that Odin maybe knows a little more than he lets on. And I got it in my backpack. Find me, and I'll show it to you.
Oh, wow.
And it looks like there's a bunch of Thor hammers all over the place.
Yeah, it turns out Odin apparently didn't get that idea from himself. He may have been inspired by someone else. And thus we have the worthy and who the worthy are. The Red Skull is the first, and there's 7 more.
Okay.
Wow.
And then with the serpent, there's 9. So you could say that there's the number 9. It's fairly important to the series.
You're working on Iron Man and Thor as well. These are the big sort of movie properties.
Yeah.
What's that? Does that affect the work? How do you feel working on those?
It's great. It's amazing. I have the greatest ad campaign imaginable for a comic book. Every couple of years, a $100 million motion picture comes out, makes $1 billion around the world, and promotes my title. It's really nice that Marvel goes to all that trouble for my comic.
Wow.
It's great. It's cool because I tell people what I do on airplanes now, and it blows their minds. Like before it was like, what, do you put the words in the people's mouths like Garfield? And now people get it.
Right.
It's great, and it's sort of everything that I enjoy about, or everything at least that I try to right, where you try to make it accessible and try to obey and honor continuity, but not be enclosed and not be standoffish to it. You know what I mean? I'm always trying to write for new audiences with fresh eyes who haven't been reading Iron Man since 198 like me or whatever. So it's great. And any time that you can platform your comic off of a giant motion picture, it's great. My kid knows who Iron Man is. My kid knows who Thor is. It's great. And he's 3.5. And I saw that Empire magazine cover of Captain America the other day,
right.
and it blew his mind. It was like, that's Captain America.
Nice.
Like, that's a picture, dude. That's not superhero squad cap. That is the real. Like, he was
If he's
transfixed. So
real.
it's amazing. Yeah, it was great to